What's going on YouTube? I just wanted to make a video on my top 10 Nintendo 64 games of all time. It was hard for me to whittle down this list, man, because there's a lot of games that I feel deserve to be up in this list that I couldn't put in it because there was so many other games that were already qualifying to be in this list. So I'm gonna just get right to it. There's no, I didn't put them in any particular order. This is just the top 10, So don't take any offense if a game that you like is number 9 or something like that. I didn't put them in any specific order. First right out the gates, Banjo Kazooie. All right, this title was phenomenal. This was one of Rare's masterpieces when they were still working with Nintendo. It's based on characters that came out of another game in my top 10 collection, which was Diddy Kong Racing. Banjo the Bear and Kazooie, his partner. Banjo was in Diddy Kong Racing. Basically, the game is an action platformer on the scale of Super Mario 64 and even beyond. I mean, the game is phenomenal. It is huge. As much as I like Mario 64 and as much as I think Mario 64 is probably one of the greatest games of all time, this game dwarfs it in size and in just the expansiveness of the levels. I mean, you got your traditional levels, you got your beach level, desert, snow, wonderland, whatever. And it's all based around, very fairy tale, kiddie, storybook type setting where Gruntilda the witch, who always got to speak in rhyme form for some reason, has kidnapped Banjo's little sister, who I think is Tootie or whatever, I forgot her name. And so, off Banjo and Kazooie go on the adventure that is amazing, bro. This game you have to own if you're a Nintendo 64 owner. Next, we have another rare masterpiece, Blast Corps. All right, this game is so weird in that I've never seen anything like it before or after it, but it's so fun and it just works on all levels. It is basically, I would have to classify it as a demolition game. The story is, there's this nuclear tanker that's rolling, that it's moving and it can't stop. And anything that if it collides with anything, it will send the world into nuclear winter. It will explode and destroy all life on planet Earth as we know it. And so you were part of the Blast Corps team, and you manned a bunch of different vehicles and bodysuits to aid you in demolishing the buildings and the obstructions in the way, such as the backlash, which is looks like a Tonka truck. It's a pickup truck, or a dump truck with a dump bed in the back. And the way you use this truck is you come full speed at your obstacle, and then you at the last minute you swerve to the left and you let the backside of the car of the truck as you swing by just knock everything down. You got the ballista, I think it is, which is like a two-wheel motorcycle with two rocket launchers on the side, and it just fires missiles. I mean, you got bodysuits like J-Bomb, who you fly up in the air and then you just come crashing down on the buildings. I mean, it's awesome. The explosions of this game, are beautiful. The soundtrack's pretty good too, and it's a joy to play, man, because there's nothing ever been made like it, man, and it really hits. It really hits on all levels. Here we go, as I mentioned before, another Rare classic. It's 3 in a row already for Rare. I mean, Rare back in the N64 days was it, man. Couldn't find nobody better. Diddy Kong Racing. This took the Mario Kart formula and just went crazy with it. I mean, this is not just a normal kart racer. You use airplanes, you use hovercrafts. It's not just a racing game, it's also an adventure game all mixed in one. And basically, you gotta battle this arch enemy named Whizpig, who is, he's the boss in the entire game, but to get to him, you gotta go through several other sub-bosses, and you gotta race several different sets of courses, and you get there by beating the first couple courses, then you unlock another area, and it's like an overworld. And you travel through that overworld on cart, hovercraft, or plane. So it's more like an adventure game, and then you do the racing in between. So I mean, it was just a joy to play. The multiplayer is just as addictive, if not more, than Mario Kart's, and it's just fun, man. As soon as you beat the game, man, then you can go back through the game and play. I think it's another expert challenge where you can race tracks before that you couldn't race with a certain vehicle, and you can use that vehicle now. So I mean, it's just amazing, bro. The game is huge. I love it. We got an all-time classic, man. Wave Race 64, released about 2 months or so after the console released in September of '96. So I'm guessing this was somewhere around November. This game is awesome. To this day, it is a classic. It has been re-released on the Wii Virtual Console, and if you don't have the cartridge, I strongly suggest you download it on the Wii Virtual Console if you have a Wii. I mean, what's not to love about this game, man? I mean, this is 1996. This game came out, and to this day, the water physics still look impressive. I mean, it really feels when you're racing that you really are carving in and out of waves and riding the waves and going up and down, and you really feel, like you're really there. You're really on, racing on a jet ski. Saying the tricks, the air time on some of the jumps. I mean, it's just the tracks, the music, everything in this game is just wonderful, man. And this is before this, nobody cared about jet ski racing in video games. I mean, after this, There was a bunch of clones like Wave Rally and a bunch of other games there on the Sony systems, but this was the original, and this is a masterpiece. Next, it's one of the biggest cartridges, you know, as far as the size of the game that I've ever seen in my life. Donkey Kong 64. This game was huge. I never, as you heard in my other video, I never even got close to beating this, but I did play the hell out of it, and it's amazing. I mean, you play as Diddy, Donkey, Lanky, and two other Kongs. I forgot because it's been a while since I played. You have control of 5 different Donkey Kong characters, and you're going through this huge 3D Donkey Kong universe, man. Trying to get once again to King K. Rool, who is back at it again, man. And this game is just phenomenal. And once again, Rare had something to do with it. So this is one of the games to me, one of the best first-person shooters ever. I mean, when I got this game on the 64, I was hooked on this thing nonstop. Turok Dinosaur Hunter, amazing graphics for the time. Still looks pretty good today, you know, considering if you acknowledge that it's an older game, you play it, it still looks great. I mean, just amazing, man. It's a first-person shooter. You got dinosaurs, you got half dinosaur robots, you got humans, and it's all in this place called the Lost Land. And it's a joy, man. The graphics, and this one was really unique in that you don't move with the joystick, you move with the C buttons, and you use the joystick for looking around, and it actually works a lot better than the other control scheme. So, Turok Dinosaur Hunter by Acclaim, just amazing. Here we have the game that launched with the system, revolutionized the gaming industry, set the bar for what a 3D game is. Super Mario 64, man. Nothing more need be said. This game, if you don't have it, get it. You don't have a 64, download it on the Wii Virtual Console. You don't have either one of those, go out and get one so you can get the game and play it. I mean, it's amazing. The game is awesome. It's the best, one of the best games of all time. I consider it probably the best game of all time. And for the wrestling fans, WCW NWO Revenge. I already hear through the waves people, what? He didn't pick No Mercy? No Mercy was phenomenal. It had improvements over this, but I'm a WCW fan. I was not a WWF fan. I mean, I was a WWF fan under WCW. To me, WCW had the wrestlers, had the talent, had the storylines, and this game is phenomenal, man. This game is great. It has, bro, I think 60 plus wrestlers, all the different factions of that day, and even let's say for example, somebody were to start a new faction, and you know, instead of wearing black and white, they wore black and blue. Where you can change the colors on the costumes of these people. You know, so you could have Hogan coming out with the Hogan pants with blue lightning, you know what I'm saying, for example. Or Sting with blue face paint instead of white. I mean, this game was awesome, bro. This is the premier wrestling game for me, right next to No Mercy. Both of them are awesome, but I like Revenge. And we have the game that just straight up set the standard for what first-person shooters on consoles are. There would not be the first-person shooters on the consoles that we have today had it not been for this game and its success. Again, Rare, Goldeneye 007. I mean, this game's graphics, I mean, I was just playing a little while ago, still hold up very well. Great music, great gameplay, you know, just beautiful. Just this game is amazing, man. And if you remember the multiplayer, man, I mean, dude, you had hours and hours of fun in that multiplayer mode with anybody. I mean, it was great, man. And then the other thing that trips me out is that it's a movie game and it doesn't suck. It actually rules, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the best games, you know, ever. So GoldenEye 007, most definitely. And then last but not least, my favorite game of all time. Said it before, I'll say it again. Pilotwings 64. I love this game. This game is an integral part of my life. I still play this game to this day. I was just playing it a little while ago also. And it never gets old, man. I mean, it is Pilotwings. It is awesome, man. In this game, you go, you know, you have 4 environments, 4 islands that you need to complete tasks in. And those tasks are on gyrocopter, on hang glider, on rocket pack, and then you unlock a bunch of mini games like Birdman and Human Cannonball and all that. And these environments are huge, expansive, 3D. I mean, way ahead of its time as far as technology, and all in this cartridge, Pilotwings 64. So there you have it, people. Hope you enjoyed my top 10 Nintendo 64 games. Again, you know, there's a lot of honorable mentions that should have been in this video but couldn't because these games took their spot. So, I mean, but the 64 was like that, man. It had so many great games, man. I mean, games that I had to skip over that I felt should be in this list, bro. For example, Castlevania 64 that I have over there, Star Wars Rogue Squadron that I also have over there, No Mercy that I have over there, man, Banjo Kazooie, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. I mean, so many great games. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I mean, you know what it is, man. N64, right? So that's my top 10 list right there. I hope y'all enjoy. God bless. Get your game on. See you when I see you. Peace.